Last year, my best friend passed away. And I didn't even know until 3 days later. We had slowly stopped talking before that, not because of a fight, but because he had confessed his feelings to me and I couldn't accept it. So I kept my distance, without really explaining anything, thinking it would be easier for both of us. Until I saw the post on Facebook. That same evening, I went to his house with a friend, and the moment I stepped inside, I felt something I couldn't explain. Not fear, just a heaviness. His family was there, his mother, his auntie, and I could tell immediately that they all knew who I was. After speaking to his mother, I realized he had told them about me. About how I rejected him, and even though she said she understood, there was still something in her eyes that made it hard for me to stay. I went into his room for a while, the same room where he passed away in his sleep, and everything inside still felt unchanged, like he had just left for a moment. Without really thinking, I noticed a few strands of his hair near the bed, and I took one, placing it inside my phone case as something to remember him by. And after that day, I started visiting his house more often, helping his family with small things, and slowly, I began to feel like he was still somehow around me. Not in a frightening way, just present. Like he hadn't really left. At first, it felt comforting, like I hadn't lost him completely, and there were moments, especially at night, where I thought I could hear his voice, very soft, almost like a memory playing back in my head. And sometimes when I was lying down, I could feel something lightly touching my hair, and I told myself it was just my imagination, or maybe just my mind trying to hold on to him. But after a while, small things started to feel different. One day, while I was at a friend's house, she noticed a part of my hair looked shorter, like it had been cut unevenly, and I laughed at first, thinking maybe I tied it wrong or something. But when I checked properly later, it was obvious, and I had no memory of cutting it. I asked my mother when I got home, but she said she didn't touch my hair at all. That was the first time I felt uneasy. Not scared, just confused in a way that didn't sit right. I started overthinking small things, even distancing myself from his family without telling them why, because I couldn't explain what I was feeling. And somehow, life continued like normal. I bought a car, I went out with friends, everything looked fine from the outside. But there were still things I couldn't ignore, like how people started telling me they couldn't reach me at night even though my phone was right next to me. Or how I would wake up sometimes feeling like I wasn't completely alone, even when everything around me looked normal. Then, one day, everything started to make more sense, or at least it started to feel connected. I was on the way to Kuala Lumpur with a friend, just a normal trip, talking about random things, and somehow we ended up talking about him again. She asked to see his picture, and as I showed it to her, I casually mentioned that I still kept a strand of his hair inside my phone case, and her reaction changed immediately. She told me seriously that I shouldn't be keeping anything from someone who has passed away, not even hair, because it's still a part of them, and it's not meant to stay with the living. I didn't take it seriously at first, until something happened while we were driving. I felt something from the back seat, like a light kick against my seat. Not strong, just enough to notice. I joked about it, saying maybe he was sitting behind us, and we laughed it off. But after that, the feeling didn't leave my mind. The next morning I woke up with a fever, sudden and heavy, without any clear reason, and that was when I decided to ask for advice. I spoke to a ustad, explained everything, and he told me clearly that I should not keep any part of someone who has passed away, because it can hold a connection that prevents them from moving on properly. He told me to return it, to bury it where it belongs. I followed exactly what he said, and after that, things slowly became normal again. A few days later, his mother called me and said she had a dream where her son told her he was leaving and that he wouldn't come back anymore. I didn't say anything at that moment, but I understood. Since then, I've never kept anything like that again, because sometimes holding on too tightly doesn't just keep memories with you, it keeps something else too. If you were in my place, would you have kept it? Let me know in the comments and follow for more true horror stories.